Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to read guitar tablature. This is different than the chord charts. Okay, so the bottom line is going to be our top string. So that's the string on top, that's the E string. Okay. The next line, that's your A string. That's just the very next string. So you see they're all going to just go in order. The D string, the G string, the B string, and then all the way on the top of the chart and on the bottom of the guitar, the high E string. Okay, so that's the string order. So from lowest sounding to the highest sounding. So that's how that works. Now the next thing is they put numbers on here. So I'm going to show you two different ways that these are used. So one is if you were to take a number, the number 0 just means that you're playing the string open. So you don't even have to push it down. So that E string we're going to play open. Very simple. Now, on the A string we're going to play, it says 2. So that just tells you that we're going to play in the 2nd fret. So all the different numbers would just show you the different frets you're going to play on. So it could be a 2, it could be a 7, it could be a 12. Alright, and then we're going to go to the D here. We're going to also do a 2. So we're stacking them up like this. So this is important. There's different ways to do this. So E is open, A is 2nd fret, D is 2nd fret, and we're going to do the last 3 strings, we're going to play them open as well. Alright, and this is actually going to be a chord. So when they're stacked together like this, that just shows you, that you're going to play them all at the same time. So that's our E minor chord. So if you saw this, you go, oh, well, we're just playing E minor. Just like that. Now, we could do it differently, where you could have each note in the chord is being played after each other. So that would be a different thing. So now we're not playing the chord straight, you're just playing the individual notes here. So that would just sound like this. So that's what that's doing. Now, if we were to do, let's say we're going to do 12 here. Okay? So that just means we're going to play the 12th fret there. So it would go. Alright? So that's very simple. Now, this is very, very popular. This is used to teach people how to play all kinds of stuff. Scales, songs, you name it, it can be done on this thing. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the next thing is, let's say we get into doing stuff like, let's say, a hammer-on. So we're going to go 12, 15. We want to hammer on from 12 to 15. Okay, so we're going to go. So all it does here is it just puts a little thing here and an H. So the H just shows you that it's going to be a hammer-on. That's pretty simple. And if we reversed it, let's say we did 15 to 12, well, they would just put a P here because that would just be a pull-off instead. So it would be like this. Still sounds pretty cool. Alright, or, now there's a couple ways they do it, but let's say we were going to go, we're going to change this up a little bit here. So we're going to go 3, 5, okay? Here instead. So we're going to do that on the B string now. So we're going to go. That's the way it's written here. We could do a hammer-on. And you see, the H is still there. Or we could do something different. We could do a slide. A slide would sound pretty good. So sometimes what you'll see is they'll do this and put an S there or something. Right? So there'll be a little mark to let you know that you're sliding there. So then you have that. So they either put, you don't see an S a lot, they usually put this here. That just shows you that it's sliding from that note to that note. Sometimes you'll see, depending on where you go, what website you go on, sometimes people put an S there, but it's not always put there. A lot of times they do this, or they'll do something else, but they'll tell you in the notes. So let's say you want to do like a little vibrato at the end, right? Well, to show that, you just put a little squiggly mark here. Boom. That's it. And then you know you got vibrato. Well, let's say instead of sliding, let's say we wanted to bend this up. We're going to bend this up to the 5th fret. So we're going to do this and then B to 5. So that's what that would mean. So you have this 3, B, and then it'll show you you're bending up to the 5th fret note. So it'll sound like this. So that's how the bends would work in this kind of chart. So you have your slides, you have your bends, you have your hammer-ons and pull-offs. All those things can be shown. Your vibrato can be shown in there too. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. Now, the one thing is, another thing is, let's say you're running into something where there's a lot of palm muting. Okay, so now that's where they do this on the bottom. So let's say we're just playing boom, boom, boom here like this. We're playing like some kind of heavy metal riff or something. And heavy metal likes to use a lot of palm muting. So let's say we'll put a PM here. So that means we're going to palm mute this note. And then they just put a little dash, 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 dash. We're not going to palm mute that one. Dash, dash. So then you'll just be palm muting all the ones that have the dash or the PM underneath it. And that's the palm mute. So that would be like, boom. Pretty simple. Alright, so like here we didn't palm mute that one, but all the other ones got palm muted. So that's how they cover that. And you'll see that a lot, depending on what kind of music. Blues will use that a lot, classic rock. Jazz music, they'll have little runs where you have some like little licks in the jazz music where they'll do that. They'll be like, so they'll do some palm muting on that too. So it is pretty common to run into that. In most styles of music, heavy metal likes to use this a lot, so it's a big popular thing with heavy metal. So that's that. Now the next thing we have. Okay, so the next thing is muted strings. So this one's super easy, okay? So every once in a while you'll hear a song every once in a while and the guy's going. So to show that they're just hitting muted strings, they just put an X. All right? You can't get easier than that. That's pretty straightforward. So you see, oh, okay, he's just muting that part there. So you hear that in a song like, trying to think of a song where they do a lot of that. So they'll just put the X in there just to show the muted strings. So now, then let's say, okay, we want to get into the tapping stuff. So then I'll just show you. I'm going to actually draw out what I just did here on here. Okay, so when we're doing tapping, we're going to write the fret that we're tapping on with a T above it. So that way we know that's the note that's being tapped. So that's the note that you're going to put your finger on to tap. So the little thing that I was just doing, right, was like that. So it was 12, and the tap went right to an open, it went right to an open E, and then it was a hammer-on to the 5th fret, and from there, it was another hammer-on to the 8th fret, and then I just repeated that. Alright, so let's say I repeated that, let's say 4 times. So let's say I did that 4 times. Technically, when you see this kind of music written down like this in a song, if it was played 4 times, they'll just show it, they'll just write it down 4 times. You know, so it'll be 12, 0, 5, 8, 12, 0. I don't really have enough room to do that, so I'm just going to put in parentheses down here, 4x. So, you know, I did that 4 times. That's not what they usually do. Sometimes you'll see that. Some guy will get lazy. He'll go, I don't want to type the whole thing out. You know, we're talking about the internet. Guys make these tabs at no cost, so they're not getting paid for it. So sometimes you can find a guy who gets a little lazy. You know, you can't blame him too much. And they'll just go, oh yeah, this part, you just play it 4 times. So they'll just type it out once. But if you were to go buy like a guitar magazine that had tablature in it, they usually just put the whole thing out for you. Alright, so I did that, and then I changed it. So I still tapping on the 12th fret, released it to open, and then I did hammer on to the 4th fret, and then another hammer on to the 7th fret. So that was actually the thing I was just playing a minute ago. So it went like this. Alright, so, and I'll write down here 4 times. That way you know I played it 4 times. I just don't have the space. I would write it out, but I don't have the space on the board. Okay, so that's how you would do that. That's how the tapping stuff works. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So any comments, any questions that you have, or if you felt like I missed anything, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll make another video about that. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Alright, thanks a lot. I hope this helped out a lot.